All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Marsh Bice. And today I want to talk about your tolerances and specifically how your tolerance can lead to success or tolerance can lead to your demise. Because it's a funny thing, man. When it comes to tolerance, there's an asymmetry to it. And asymmetry means it's not equal. So we're quick to expand our tolerance for destructive behavior, and we do it through these micro justifications. I mean, bro, if you think about it, you could justify anything. You can rationalize it all away. And a quick thing, man, like if you catch yourself trying to explain things and like you're over explaining, that's a dead giveaway that you are increasing your tolerance for something that's probably not going to serve you well. In other words, if you repeated this every single day for the next 6 months, am I going to land on a 10 or am I going to land on a negative 100? I mean, that's the thing that you got to look at. So if you find yourself starting to rationalize and over-explain things, that could be something for you to be aware of and say, I may be increasing my tolerance for destructive measures. So that's tolerance on the destructive side. But when it comes to growth or success, we're quick to shrink our tolerance. That's the first thing that we do. I mean, we want the results, but we don't want to put forth the effort, the sweat equity. We do this so subtly, man, and that's the thing that I want to bring to your awareness. The tolerance, it's these tolerance leaks is what I like to call it. And so you build in these subtle tolerances through your comfort zone, and even though you know you should be doing more, you just kind of put it off. You procrastinate, you rationalize, you explain it. And so I want to bring this to your awareness so that way you can spot your tolerance leaks, but on one side, and quickly identify them and be like, yeah, this is a leak, man. I need to plug the hole. And what's good is you can plug the hole instantly. Like it's just a slight course correction is all it is. But then also I want to bring into your awareness too on how you can increase your tolerance in productive ways as well. So that way you don't get comfortable and you're willing to embrace the uncertainty and handle the adversity as well. So let's talk about the bad first, the destructive tolerance. Because one thing you have to remember, you get what you accept. Whatever you accept in your life, everything where you are right now is because you accepted that. It is. And you made these thin slices of exceptions along the way. And this is why your money may be funny. It's why your relationships may not be where they need to be. It's why you just kind of stuck it on your job. This is why your weight's starting to creep up. It's the tolerances. So let me give you 5 ways that you're unconsciously increasing your tolerance for the wrong thing. Number 1, just this once. Just this once isn't a moment. It's a mindset. And it's kind of like skipping class, man. It's a whole lot easier after the first time, right? So you do it once, and it just becomes a little bit easier. So whether it be that you're skipping a workout, that you're binge watching, that you're staying up late night junk food, you think it's okay just this once. But just this once it's the door opener. It's the thing that opens up for opportunities, but not in the right way. Number 2, micro slips. How you do the smalls is how you do the alls. It's not one decision, man. It's a bunch of small ones. Think of a snowflake that becomes a snowball that becomes an avalanche. That's what happens in your life. An avalanche is just a whole bunch of snowflakes that stuck together and said, yay, let's go down this hill and destroy everything. That's what a snowflake is. And a lot of times, man, we make these snowflake decisions and these little small things. You're like, it's no big deal. Everything counts. Everything matters. And I'm not saying, bro, you got to walk through life at an A+, but you can do better than where you are right now. And it's just being able to see these little micro slips that you're making along the way. And dude, some of the micro slips are just like, as soon as you do it, you're like, why'd I even do that? I mean, you didn't have to. You could have changed the environment, done something different, and then that way the tolerance doesn't build up in the negative way. Number 3, comfort seeking. Your brain whispers to you sweet nothings. The first thing your mind, when you don't want to do something, your mind is going to whisper to you and just say, look, man, just double up. You get to it tomorrow. Nobody's watching. It's all good. And this is where we have the double up moments. And the double up moments are where we add extra work on top of, but what happens is it's not yesterday's work. You keep adding to it, and because you got away with it, which is the 4th one, the no consequence loop. So because you got away with it, then it's just like, and it just builds up until finally the dam breaks. So let's talk about the no consequence loop. That's number 4. You got away with it. Time can be your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. It can. And so thank God things don't happen in an instant. Now, when it comes to success, we want it instant. When it comes to something bad, destructive, we don't want it in an instant. Well, you can't have it both ways. And so, again, everything counts. And so, thank God you don't bite into a Whopper and you drop dead. Okay? Your body gives you these tolerances, this margin for error. It gives you those things, but also it's the exceptions that you make. And because you got away, here's the elusive thing, you got away with it, and you're like, oh. And what happens is, I don't know what it is, dude. It's just human nature, I guess. And so we got away with it. So then we like, can I get away with it? And a little bit more the next day, and a little bit more. And what happens is the baseline continuously moves. And then the last one is the comparison trap, is another way that you build tolerance in a destructive way. So you're better than the person back here. It's kind of like the skinny girl who hangs out with a bunch of fat people to make themselves look better, right? Or the real pretty girl hangs out with ugly people because when they go out, they look like a superstar. Or you hang out with friends that are more broke than you. But the problem with that is you hang out with F people, the best you're going to get is a D+ life. That's it. And so you have to have that awareness in that, how are you comparing yourself? And I say comparison, sometimes, man, it's just subtly. Like, who you just gravitate around. Do you gravitate toward people that are just, they're just not on a good trajectory? It's not that we can't be all up and comers. I'm not saying that at all. It's not that you're better than anyone else, but are you better for you? That's the thing. And are they doing better for them? And if we're doing that together, even if they're a mile or two behind me, that's cool. As long as they're trying to do better, bro, I'm with you. But if you just keep regurgitating and going back to your own vomit in destructive ways, I can't be with you like that. All right? So that's destructive tolerances. The 5 that I just outlined to you, was it 5? Yeah, the 5 that I just outlined to you. Where do you spot yourself in those? Could be a couple of them. Could be one of them. But the good news is bringing an awareness. Now you're aware. Now you're awake. You're like, okay, I get it. Life is super sneaky, man. It is. And so we do things, and it just kind of, things just sneak up on us. But they don't have to if we stay aware. All right? So let me give you some different ways to stay aware. Number 1 is a daily awareness practice. Now, I'm not big on a whole bunch of rituals and all that kind of different shit, but I would tell you this. Like, there are 5 areas, core pillars in your life. They all start with the letter F to make it easy. Okay? So it's faith, family, fitness, finances, fulfillment. So on a scale from 1 to 5, grade yourself every day in each one of those 5 categories. So 5 being the best, 1 being not so good. How did you practice your faith today? Did you stretch your faith? Did you build more knowledge about your faith? Did you step outside of your comfort zone and learn things, stretch your faith a little bit? Okay? Family. Were you more preoccupied on social media than you were with your family, on finances? Did you spend extra vowing to double up? Oh, I'll pay it off next month. And you don't even know how you're going to pay it off. Like you're barely making ends meet now. It's bullshit. Tolerance. So just look at yourself. And then at the end of the week, tally them up. And so if you get a 28 or higher, then okay, that's 80%. It's passing. It's not that you have A plus all the time, that you get, 5 in each category 7 days a week. That's a 35. I don't expect you to have a 35 in every category, but a majority, like you're doing better. It's just bringing an awareness to it. You don't have to be an A plus. You don't have to be perfect, but you just have to do better. Another way to increase your tolerances, set hard limits. Some minimum standards, minimums of excellence, I say. And so build in your consistency. You got to be average to be great. Build in your averages first. Okay? What is the minimums you can commit to? Again, consistency over intensity. The intensity is going to naturally raise anyway. So what are some bare minimums? I know, given my circumstance right now and how I feel, I will work out 3 days a week. That's what you're going to say. So you build a rule based on that. 3 days a week. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm off for the rest of the week. I don't care. Do it however you want to. I don't care what all the science, bro science says. I don't care about none of that. First, do it for you. Okay? So your minimum standards. Write 1 page every single day. I bang the drum on this. I'm telling you, it'll empty your mind, clarify your thoughts. Write 1 page. You do this as a daily practice. I very rarely ever write 1 page a day, but I tell myself 1 page a day. That's all I got to do, because initially that resistance is saying, I don't have anything to write. Like today, man, I have nothing to write about. I set my timer for 15 minutes and I doodled and I wrote. I just did things. I didn't feel like it, and it really didn't come out to anything, but it triggered. I wrote 1 word, tolerance, and some other words, but that was the word that really stood out. I went to the gym to work out. On my way home, I started thinking more and more about tolerance and why. This is how this came about. Why do we have tolerance for destructive things? We're always trying to move the needle on that for destructive measures and justifying it. And then, but when it comes to success, we don't. We're just like, oh, no, I don't want to do all that. This is how this came about. That write 1 page every single day. So setting a rule like that. Drinks. When you go out for drinks, know yourself, man. So when you go out for drinks, just a couple of drinks. After that, it gets wild and woolly. All right? So that's what it is. Another way to tighten your tolerance. If something lights the fuse, don't do it. Know yourself. Know yourself. So if something lights the fuse, don't do it. Your baseline is easier to keep than it is to rebuild. Always remember that. That's good, isn't it? Your baseline is easier to keep than to rebuild. So if you're tired of quitting, stop starting over. It's the same sort of thing. People say going back to the basics. It's because you just tolerated too much in a destructive way. And now you got to. So, you never have to start again if you just keep building on it, right? And it's these small measures every single day, and just having an awareness about it, man. And then the last thing is another way to tighten your tolerance. This is really good. Use social media, leverage it as an accountability partner. Some of you may have an accountability partner. Okay. I don't. So my thing would be, my accountability partner is my Instagram stories. And so wake up at a set time, write every single day, read something random every single day, share something of value, which is what this is, and then design my day. I know what I'm going to wear. I know what I'm going to eat that day. Okay? And so that's just my checkpoints that I do every single day. And so I use social media in that way, and you may want to consider doing this too. It's not about showing to the world, look at me. No, it's basically leveraging social media in a way that, because people are watching you. People are seeing if you're going to show up, right? And so when you do that and you put that out there, this increases your consistency, and like social media becomes that digital mirror for you. All right, so that's on the destructive side of tolerance. Now let's talk about successful tolerance and how you can actually raise the bar. So think of it like this. Destructive tolerance, you should set rules. Productive tolerance, successful tolerance, however you want to look at it, you should make it a challenge. So set rules on the destructive side, make it a challenge on the productive side. You have to train for tolerance. If you're going to grow, if you're going to do anything exceptional, you have to train for tolerance. That means there's going to be the ever-present resistance. Resistance will never go away. I don't care how much your life is liquid gold. I don't care. You're always going to have resistance. It's never going to go away. So just embrace it. Know it's going to be there. So there's going to be all kinds of resistance. There's going to be the discomfort. There's going to be boredom. There's going to be rejection. There's all kind of different ways. Adversity, uncertainty, complacency. There's all those things. So start training for it. And the real test of it is when life's not really loading the bar for you. When things aren't really, nothing's really bad happening. It's just kind of, everything's good, moving right along. Watch your tolerances. This is where you should watch, because you lose that awareness. You kind of doze off and you get complacent, and then the destructive tolerance starts creeping in. You start making these micro justifications, explaining things, doubling up, laying up a little bit, sleeping in a little later, eating a little bit more. It's the smalls, and then they all add up. So let's look at some ways that you can train for tolerance in a successful way. Number one, micro challenges. So this is your base hits over home runs, man. You're not swinging for the fence or anything like that. The challenges are just these micro doses, man. Just take these small risks. So wherever you have that procrastination, that hesitation, that second guessing, whatever, do it tomorrow, I'll double it. Do it right then and there. Here's a rule that I put in. If it takes less than 5 minutes, go ahead and do it. It does. Or how much time, if you had to do this right now, how much time would you want to? Man, I got like 10 minutes. Set your timer for 10 minutes, and then when the timer goes off, if you're not done, you have permission to walk away from it. But a lot of times what happens, this is one of those little mind hacks, a lot of times what happens is you do it, you get to that 10-minute mark, and you're like, bro, I'm almost done. Let me go ahead and knock it out. And then you're done. Then you're free up. A lot of the stress that you have is just procrastination. That's what it is. It's things that you keep. It's these regrets that lay up, these daily regrets, and these little things. There's things you should be doing. Folding the clothes. Knock it out, man. Knock it out. Other micro challenges would be like going for no. Like how many no's can you, whatever. I'd rather hear a no than assume a no. So instead of assuming you're going to get rejected, go out there and go hear a no. Good. Notch it up. What happens is a lot of times you go for no, you'll find the yeses. You definitely will. Andrea Waltz wrote a whole book, Go for No. I would tell you to get that book, even if you're not in sales. Get the book. It's an excellent book, and it's tiny. So it's all these little micro challenges. Walk into a room that you're uncomfortable with. Strike up a conversation with somebody on the elevator. Dude, I got to constantly push myself. I act like an extrovert on camera. I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I just push myself to do these things. Number 2, how to build your success tolerance. Build some capacity at failing. Failing's a process. Failure is an identity. It's a label. And the only way that you become a failure, that you become the label, is if you just stop trying. So every L that you take, man, it sharpens your skills. And it expands your identity. What you're doing is you're writing a new narrative. So when you do tougher things that you don't really feel like doing, like, let me tell you this. Anything you don't feel like doing is probably a good thing for you. It's probably something that is really beneficial for your life. I mean, think about that. So if you don't feel like doing it, it's probably a good thing. Because how many justifications, it's not like oh man, I really don't feel like drinking this beer and smashing this seafood plate. Like, no, we just we'll cave to that quick. But if it's like going to work out for 30 minutes, we're like, it's beneficial. Making these block of phone calls, it's beneficial. Do it, man. So anyway, build this capacity for failing a little bit more. Every time, man, you do things outside of your comfort zone, you're building a capacity. You're building a tolerance to be able to handle more. Nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes, like, especially working out all the damn time. Nobody likes getting up early. Nobody likes reading, writing. I learned to love it, but initially, like, dude, I hit the resistance every single time. So it's facing that resistance, embracing it, knowing that bitch was going to be there, and you do it anyway. You just do the things, and this is where you stretch. This is how you get outside and keep building that tolerance. Number 3, bust a sweat every single day. And I'm saying this physically, but I'm also saying this mentally as well. Physically, we all know that. You're getting older. This is the youngest you're ever going to be. Train for life, man. You don't want to be the guy with a tennis ball and walker. You don't want to be the guy that walks around with a walker and tennis balls on the back. You don't want to be the guy that wears coveralls, the 1-zip coveralls, and no underwear underneath, and talking about what you used to do. So you don't want to be that guy. So get some physical, bust a sweat, man, just a little bit. We don't have to be Arnold. You don't have to be Mr. Olympia, man. But you gotta stretch yourself a little bit. Get that stiffness, work that rust out. Now, bust a sweat also is a mental sweat. The thing that you don't feel like doing, again, walking into uncomfortable situations, asking something directly, asking someone to buy, asking someone to do something. Saying what your expectations for something. Like, man, have these conversations, the confrontation piece, but in a productive way. Man, do those things, and you're going to build that capacity. Number 4, reframe the narrative. Okay, you got to remember, man, like, when you fade away from adversity or uncertainty, or you comply with complacency, you're building that narrative. That's what you're doing. And if you want to rewrite that narrative, then you have to push yourself outside. And then when you do that, man, you're rewriting that narrative. You're doing things outside. And dude, again, I'm just talking about small things. It's the small things that build these little micro doses up. So when hard things hit, you have something to fall back on and remind yourself that, look, I've done some hard shit before. Okay. But you can't just like sit in a chair all day long. We atrophy in life when we're not pushing ourselves. And that's what we do. We sit in these metaphorical chairs and we're just like, well, when time comes, we'll just deal with it there. No, you deal with it every day by just building in your tolerances. Again, it's the thing you don't want to do, yet it leads to something productive. Go ahead and do it. The last one, create a new identity. Well, I guess I just talked about identity. But I didn't really talk about reframe. So let me swap number 4 and 5 out. Okay. Reframing, the power of reframing. I did a whole podcast episode on this. I have no idea which number it is. But the power of reframing means that you take something and instead of going off the rails, talking about woe is me, you reframe it and you find your do-wells. Like, what did you do well in this situation? How did you handle yourself? Draw on the good. Understand, analyze, learn from the not so good, the bad, and then you reframe it and roll on, man. You're just building the capacity and you're rewriting the narrative itself. So here's my challenge for you today. Okay. What are some things that you're tolerating but shouldn't be? And what are some things that you should be tolerating more but you're not? In other words, what do you need to do less of, and what do you need to do more of? The answer is in your next move. All right, let's get out of here. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Stay tough. Peace.